So in today's video, I am going to be previewing Carlisle United versus Bradford City. Then in the second part of today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 21 League 2 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 70 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know your starting 11 and your score prediction for this match. It feels like absolutely forever since our last game, the 3rd of December, our 3-0 defeat away to Leighton Orient. It feels like an absolute age ago. Tomorrow is also Christmas Day as well, so I do just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas for that. But more important than Christmas Day is the trip to Carlisle on Boxing Day. I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere that we haven't won there since 1985. It feels like every time I've been there, we've always been absolutely terrible. I don't think we've scored yet in the 2 times that I have been there. I think we drew 0-0, and when last year we lost 2-0. Obviously, the game last season was an absolute shock. It was pretty much the beginning of the end for Derek Adams, that 2-0 defeat away at Carlisle. Jordan Gibson and Amari Patrick both scored in that one. Fingers crossed we can finally get one over Carlisle at their place. Obviously, on the last day of last season, we did manage to beat them at 2-0, but winning away from home is always much better. Make sure you drop a like on today's video. Subscribe if you are new as well. Let's get into it. Before we do go any further though, all Tier 3 exclusive videos are now available to Tier 1 channel members from now until the 2nd of January. All the Tier 3 videos for only 99p. If you are interested in that, press the join button next to the subscribe button. But going in then to the Sky Bet League 2 table, my team Bradford City, we currently sit 8th in the table. After 20 games, we've got 9 wins, 6 draws, 5 defeats, 26 goals scored, 20 goals conceded, leaving us on a positive 6 goal difference and 33 points. Our last couple of games then have been a loss, a win, and a draw. Them last couple of games then been a 3-0 defeat away to Leighton Orient, a 1-0 defeat away at Salford City in the Papa John's Trophy, a 3-1 defeat at home to Northampton Town, a 2-0 win away at Sutton United, and then just before that we had a 2-1 win away at Mansfield Town. That then compared though to Carlisle United, they're currently sat one place above us at this moment in time in the Sky Bet League 2 table. They're currently sat 7th after 21 games, so they have played a game extra than us. They've got 8 wins, 9 draws, 4 defeats, 32 goals scored, 23 goals conceded, leaving them on a positive 9 goal difference and 33 points. Their last couple of games then have been a loss, a draw, a win, a draw, and a draw. So lots of draws in the last 5 matches, only 1 win in their last 5 as well. Their last couple of games though have been a 2-1 defeat away to Northampton Town, a 1-1 draw at home to Sutton United, a 2-1 defeat away to Walsall in the second round of the FA Cup, a 4-1 win away at Salford City, a 0-0 draw at home to Walsall, and then just before that did a 3-3 draw away to Harrogate Town. So recently their form has dipped slightly, but for I think at the start of the season, the expectations on Carlisle, I think they're having a very, very good season from the previous Carlisle teams we've seen over the past couple of seasons. This one, apart from that, first half of the season behind closed doors, the teams over the last couple of years have been absolutely shocking. So Paul Simpson and his side there are doing a very, very good job at this moment in time. I know though that they have had their problems with injuries. I don't think Amari Patrick is going to be fit for this game. I think John Mellish is a doubt as well. I know he's been very good for them this season. Ryan Edmondson, one of the more recent players as well, to pick up a longer term injury. I think he dislocated his shoulder against Northampton Town. So no one ever likes to see a player get injured, but I think if there is any positive to take from that, obviously from a Bradford City point of view, if some of Carlisle's better players are not going to be available for the game, that can only benefit Bradford City. But now we're going to speak about the team though that I would go with if I was Mark Hughes. So obviously we haven't played since the 3rd of December. I have done a couple match previews for 2 of our previous games which were meant to happen at home to Rochdale and away to Gillingham, but obviously they never happened, and them 2 I believe I had the same team for. This one I have changed it up slightly because against Carlisle over the last couple of seasons it always seems to be a bit of a different fixture. Form's not really something that you can take into account. Obviously Jamie Walker's not really had a chance to be building up match fitness or anything like that in these previous couple of matches, because he probably would have started this one in my opinion if he had played on off the bench in the last 2 games. But I would line up then in a 4-2-3-1 formation. I'd go Harry Lewis in goal. In my opinion, one of, if not the best goalkeepers in this league at this moment in time. I think he's been very, very good over the last couple of matches. So for me personally, I think Harry Lewis has to start in goal. He is our number 1, and that is exactly who I expect to start in goal for this one. Right back, I'm going to go with Brad Halliday. I think Luke Hendry potentially might move on in the January transfer window, but at the same time, I'm like, he might do, he might not. I'm not really too sure. In my opinion though, I think Halliday is just the better of the 2, so I like to see Brad Halliday start. 2 centre-backs then. At first in Matty Platt, I'm hoping that Matty Platt can find find his form pre-red card, because before his red card away at Mansfield Town, I think he was one of the best centre-halves in the league. Probably our best centre-half up until that point. Partnering him, though, I would go with Romney Critchlow. Mark Hughes gave him the green light to play in our last game against Rochdale, so he's definitely going to be fit for this one, which is big, big news for us. We did miss him in the previous 2 games against Northampton and Leyton Orient. The way that Mark Hughes wants us to play, Romney Critchlow is key to that, so it's big, big news that he is going to be fit for that. And completing the back 4, it is going to be Matty Folds. Liam Ridehalgh's progressing well, but still nowhere near fit enough, and even when he is fit enough, I'd personally still like to see Matty Folds keep his place at left back. I think when that back 4 is played, Harry Lewis has played in goal, we've been really solid, we've hardly conceded goals, but obviously when that has been disturbed, when Critchlow's come out for a couple of games with his injury, Songo and Odesina have come in, we have looked a little bit shaky at times. Moving in then to the 2 at central midfielders, this might surprise a couple of people. Firstly, probably one that you probably more expect to be in there. I'm going to go with Richie Smallwood. I think away from home, our style of play much suits a Richie Smallwood type player. You know, he's a ball-winning midfielder, so coming up against a Carlisle who do have some good attacking threats, I think someone like a Smallwood with his experience and ability to win the ball back, I think you do need a battler like Smallwood in that midfield. And partnering him, I'm going to go with Levi Sutton, a man we've not really seen over the last couple of months, but I think this game you need someone with legs, someone with energy, and I think Levi Sutton will certainly bring that. He's probably similar on the ball to Gilead, but in my opinion, Gilead just doesn't offer enough technical-wise, so I'd like to see it freshened up a little bit. I don't think Ryan East quite has the legs to get up and down, because I feel like certainly when you're in that away, and it feels like Carlisle have got an absolutely massive pitch, you know, it feels like 3 miles to see the goal down at the far end. So for me personally, I like to see a midfield 2 of Smallwood and Levi Sutton, but he probably will go with Smallwood and Gilead once more. Into the front 3 then, behind the striker, this probably will cause a little bit of debate as well. Probably the one that won't cause any debate. On the right hand side, I'm going to go with Scott Banks. I think he's just so much better than Dion Pereira, offers you more, and again, like what I said, feels like a big pitch at Carlisle. You need someone who's going to do your defensive work, and I think Banks offers a little bit more defensively than Dion Pereira, and he's very good going forward. So if we get a free kick maybe on the edge of the area, you would put your money on Scott Banks trying to stick one in the top corner. So for me personally, I like to see Scott Banks start on that right hand side. In the number 10 position, I'm going to go with Lee Angle. I think against a team like Carlisle, you need someone physical in that role. Now, potentially you might go with Chapman in the middle just because he provides a bit more running than a Lee Angle, but for the majority of this season, Carlisle have played a back 3, and Andy Cook sometimes can struggle against the back 3 when all the pressure's coming on him. He's expecting to hold the ball up when he's got 2-3 centre-halves on him, so if you play someone like a Lee Angle, he can hold the ball up. He wins a lot of cheap free kicks. Also, we saw away at Harrogate Town the quality that he can have when he's threading them balls through in behind. So for me personally, I like to see Lee Angle start in that number 10 position. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Harry Chapman. Now, you might think it's a little bit harsh dropping Tyreek Wright, but I think if you play Harry Chapman for 60-65 minutes, then you bring on someone like a Tyreek Wright on off the bench, his pace against a tired defence, I think would absolutely kill Carlisle. Chapman as well hasn't really had too much of an opportunity to play in his natural position as a winger, so I think a game like this, you freshen things up a little bit, and obviously they've had a couple of weeks off, but you change things up a little bit because it hasn't really worked over the last couple of matches. I'd personally think Chapman could be a really, really good winger at this level. I like to see him getting balls into the box, whether he's cutting inside and getting shots off, or going to the byline, hanging them up to the back post for obviously the striker, who will be Andy Cook. 16 goals so far this season, 13 in the league, and obviously Christian Dennis is doing a decent job at trying to keep up with Andy Cook so far this season. I don't know specifically how many he's on, but I know he's obviously having a very good season. Andy Cook, though, for me, has to start up front. I know some of you will probably disagree with my starting 11, but on the bench for me, that would leave Colin Doyle, Jan Songo, Ryan East, Dion Pereira, Jamie Walker, Tyreek Wright, and Ben Oliver. It was quite hard to not include some of the players in this matchday squad. That does mean the players who miss out would be Heath Richardson, Joe O'Shaughnessy, Luke Hendrick, Timmy Odesina, Kieran Kelly, who's not obviously actually registered until the 1st of January. So I think the first time he might actually be able to make his debut will be in that game at home to Salford City. Also missing out would be Liam Ridehalgh, Alex Gilead, Emmanuel Osadibe, who is progressing well. Mark Hughes said he should hopefully be back in full training by the end of January, so hopefully he might be starting to get integrated into the matchday squads around mid-February time, something like that, which could be big, big news for us. Also missing out then would be Jake Young and Aboisa. Now let's get into my game week 21 League 2 score predictions and hope none of these games get called off. Let's get into it. Starting out then with AFC Wimbledon versus Newport County. I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win for Wimbledon in that one. Carlisle United versus Bradford City. I'm going to go with a little bit of reverse psychology in this game. I'm going to go the 2-0 home win for Carlisle in that one, and fingers crossed we can get a positive result finally at Carlisle. Crawley Town versus Sutton United. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw. Gillingham FC versus Colchester United. I am going to go with a 2-1 away win for Colchester in that one. Harrogate Town versus Grimsby Town. I am going to go with a 3-1 home home win for Harrogate in that one. Mansfield Town versus Northampton Town. I am going to go with a 2-1 away win for the Cobblers in that one. Top of the table clash in that game. Rochdale AFC versus Hartlepool United. Bit of a relegation battle in this one. Probably relegation 6 points. I'm going to go with Rochdale to scrape the 3 points with a 1-0 home win in that one. Salford City versus Barrow AFC. I'm going to go with a 2-0 away win for Barrow in that one. Stockport County versus Crewe Alexandra. I am going to go with a 2-0 home win for Stockport in that one. Swindon Town versus Walsall FC. I'm going to go with a 1-0 away win for the Saddlers in that game. And finally, Tranmere Rovers versus Doncaster Rovers. I'm going to go with a scrappy 1-1 draw in that one. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 70 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your score predictions and your starting 11 down in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Shout out to our current tier 3 channel member BDavies211. I am also, like I mentioned earlier on in today's video, making all tier 3 exclusive videos available for tier 1 channel members from now until the 2nd of January. So if you are interested in that, feel free to press the join button next to the subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day and I shall see you on Monday for the match day vlog. Peace.